Welcome to Bloom in Full Color, where we live life in high definition. My name is Jennifer Moss, fourth generation of ownership of Moss Greenhouses. And Liz and I are hanging out in a very sunny greenhouse.
Very sunny.
Apparently we did not wear enough sunscreen, and we're going to have our sunglasses on for this adventure because it's a little bright. People wonder why I wear sunscreen in like February.
Yeah.
Well, just put yourself in a greenhouse, put plastic on it, and then walk around. So, tattoo work, boy howdy, sunscreen, SPF is your friend.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Well, so today we're talking about Mother's Day. So Mother's Day is kind of like, it's twofold. Super warm and fuzzy, but also kind of gives anybody in the florist or garden center industry a little bit of PTSD.
Yeah. Anxiety is a thing.
Well, you take like Christmas in retail and then magnify it, throw estrogen and anger in it, and boom, you have Mother's Day. It's super fun.
You need to patent that saying.
Oh my God. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's actually like really awesome in the same swing because you get to actually see like kids come in and pick out stuff for mom, or the husband aimlessly wandering around like deer in a headlights, has no idea what he's looking for. Like traditionally I go to him and I go, okay, what's your wife's favorite color? What's your mom's favorite color? And they're just like, you don't know their favorite color? Like, that's literally the base information we need. So for any man watching this right now, preparing for Mother's Day, or any holiday or gift-giving occasion, know what the frick her favorite color is.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. And it
Mine
might
is
not...
pink, Jeremiah.
Mine is blue. But I am good as long as it's not orange,
Yeah.
which we have talked about in great lengths. I'm not good with orange. Orange, you can keep it. Red, probably the same thing. But if you give me a rainbow, I'm in, and those colors can stay. Okay, so I kind of was curious because, like, why am I going through this awful thing called Mother's Day every year? And I am a mom, so now I get to celebrate that a little bit. But, I mean, where did it come from? So it turns out it was originally in ancient Greece and Rome. They actually honored the mother goddess Rhea, and she, like, represented fruitfulness, and she was the daughter of Uranus, who represented heaven, which is its own ironic statement that is not safe for viewership on this channel. And then Gaia, and I'm probably saying that wrong, who represented Earth, and she was actually a Titan.
Yeah.
So she was just all around kind of a badass. So, you know, yay, moms.
Yeah.
And she was a mother, but I didn't go that deep into that. But it came back to this lady named Anna Jarvis in 1908. So she really wanted to celebrate a day where we honored mothers and being moms and what it took to be a mom. So she actually took it and tried to make it into something how to teach you how to be a mother. Like, it wasn't really a celebration to honor moms. It was to say, hey, this is how you are a mother. And she actually, in West Virginia, it was made official in 1914 by President Woodrow Wilson. And then she had a moment. So Anna Jarvis at that point realized that it was becoming a capitalized holiday where people were making money. She spent the rest of her life trying to retract it as a holiday. She was pissed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It literally became so commercialized that she was like, this doesn't work. I don't like this. And there's a little bit of different history about like the clearest modern precedent for an early Christian festival is known as Mothering Sunday. And then like back in the UK and parts of Europe, Ireland, ironic with your Irish skin as we were talking about our ancestry.
9%.
9%. 9% Irish. I am not Irish. I look like it. Yeah, that arm is tattooed. That doesn't count. This white arm on this side of my person. I'm Northern European. I am always going to be white and covered in freckles. So they actually, it always fell on the fourth Sunday in Lent. And it was originally seen as a time when the faithful would return to their mother church for apologizing for their sins, I think.
Yeah, so that makes sense why it moves then every year.
Well, and now it's traditionally always the second Sunday in May.
Yeah.
And so, what are we on? It's going to be on May 8th this year.
It is,
So
yeah.
next year it won't, it'll either go later or, and it dictates my entire year. So Easter and Mother's Day, like, they're in charge.
And they
It
were
is the
very close
calendar.
this year.
And it was stupid cold. Still kind of is. So that's the fun thing that people don't realize. Like, if it's cold outside, things are going to be slower. And if it's shady outside, things aren't going to be in bloom for a little bit. Things need sun, people. Put sun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pray to the sun gods. I need everybody to be doing that, like, straight up this week on the reg, because it needs to happen. It's kind of like doing a rain dance.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to get on that. Tell Jeremiah
I will
he's
do
in
this.
charge.
I will tell
With
Jeremiah.
with that Chinese heritage. of
Jeremiah,
his.
you are in charge.
Apparently,
your
it's
Chinese
a
heritage.
pick on Liz's husband day. So I think kind of the gift giving came as children were actually trying to do tokens of appreciation for their mother, and so it's just kind of evolved from there. But like modern day stats, phone calls alone on that one day go up 37%.
Yeah.
How many people do you think it's the only day of the year they actually talk to their mother?
Jeremiah is probably one of them. Probably a lot.
There's
yeah.
probably a
Yeah.
large chunk. I mean, and I want to state that it's the celebration of a person that you think of as a mother figure. Because there's not a lot of people who, not everybody has someone that's like, oh man, my mom is just kick butt. Like, not everybody has that story. And I mean, thankfully I do. I got just a badass lady for a mom, but it doesn't always pan out that way. So thankfully there's a lot of good women in the world. Or if you are a single dad without a mom figure, you are Mr. Mom. And by God, you should be getting a Mother's Day present too, buddy. Because you're doing the work.
Agree.
If you're wiping those babies' butts and raising them, you should get the honor too. If you don't already get it on Father's Day. But you know what? If you're doing both jobs, by God, you better get 2 presents. Somebody needs to be thinking of you. Maybe it's your mother that needs to be thinking of you on that. Then there was another funny story about Anna Jarvis, who started it. She actually got arrested for preventing the sale of flowers in 1930.
In 1930?
In 1930, like almost, 16 years after it officially became a holiday, like this woman made it her life's mission to prevent celebration of Mother's Day after making it official. And I just thought that was hilarious. I'm like, you got arrested for preventing the sale of flowers.
I'm just trying to wonder what she was doing to try and prevent that sale of
no
flowers.
idea. Like peaceful protest. It's
well, and
a
I was
thing.
thinking, 1930. That's why I was shocked, because in the 60s, I could see them handcuffing themselves to different.
How would you handcuff yourself to a flower?
I don't know.
I'm wondering how that works.
Maybe the storefront. I was trying to think of the storefront.
I was like, God, how would you do it? Like, because you just rip it out. It would have to be something anchored.
Yeah. But I just
you handcuff yourself to this pot. It's mine. I'm preventing the sale. Oh, God, people get so aggressive over flowers. Also, flip side of that, because there's always a positive to every negative, right? Polarization. People get so stupid excited about plants. And as you were saying, it was totally different 2 weeks ago in here.
Yeah, it was.
It is an eruption of color here at Moss Greenhouses. Like literally ultraviolet. Like it is on point.
Yeah, it's beautiful in here.
I challenge somebody to find every color in this greenhouse. It can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done. So, and ironically, while we talk about color, white carnations are the symbol for Mother's Day.
What? I don't know if I've seen a white carnation.
No, it's super unimpressive that is the color. Because to me, color is an important part of flowers.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that love white gardens. I mean, the whole moonlight garden, that's a theme. Awesome. You do you, boo.
Yeah.
It will never happen at my house. Ever. There might be like a moon garden in a little area, but then there's going to be color all the way around it. So it's going to work out really nicely. But it apparently is supposed to represent purity and truth and mother's love. All the warm fuzzies. When I think of my mom, I don't think about warm fuzzies.
I don't think of purity and those kind of things, because she's my mom.
Exactly.
Like,
good, bad, and different.
She was teaching me those things, but yeah.
Well, and my mom is a very strong figure. I was a terrible teenager. Not just like a little bad. I was like a lot of bad. Okay. Like probably a couple of phone calls from the police and,
Yeah.
I was kind of a terrorist. Not in the illegal government way for those who are channeling our podcast, but more in a I will defy all things authority. Oh my gosh, the sun might have like covered for a second. Ooh, I can look through my eyeballs. This is great. That's not gonna last very long. There's cloud cover. But I was hard as a kid. Well, as a teenager, and I had gone through some stuff, and I wasn't handling it well. But now, to date, at 37 years old, my mother is my best friend, and I work with her every day. She used to be my boss. Now I'm her boss, so there's this power shift. When she was pissed at me at work, she would come to me and be like, all right now I'm your boss, not your mother. I need to say something. And so I actually have to go into those conversations sometimes like, right now I am your business partner, not your sister or not your... And that's the only way you can separate it, because working with family is hard. But actually, we're like the weird anomaly. We actually like each other most days of the week after work. I mean, we may not want to see each other because we've been around each other all day, but we at least are still like relatively good humored about it.
Well, I mean, you have to be for 4 generations to keep going.
You would think, but weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now it's dark in here.
Now, now. See, so I used to wear glasses as a kid, like Coke bottle thick glasses.
Speaking of your mother,
that's my grandma.
Oh, that's your
That's
so I was like,
grandma.
I know I've seen.
That's my grandma.
They look the same.
She's still 39.
Yes,
been 39 twice that amount of time. That was not me aging her out. My grandma looks 60 on her worst day. Like, she is a sharp looking lady, and she does body pump like 5 days a week still, and Zumba. Like, she's in better shape than everybody in the family. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And I have 2 bionic parents right now. Like, Dad just had his full shoulder replaced, and Mom just had ACL surgery. So if you see them out, they look like they've been in a car accident together. But they're healing very well. We had a very good surgeon, but no, my mom is literally my best friend. So, but I had other people that were mother figures in my life growing up, and I had to kind of leave the business, leave town, go sow my wild oats or whatever, and kind of circle back to it. And now as a parent, I look at things totally different, and it took me having my own children, and i.e. by me having my own, I married into them. So they're not officially mine, but they are definitely officially mine. So I don't know. So while I think of a story of my mother and mother figure, do you have somebody special like that in your life, Liz?
Well, yes. My grandmother was actually a big part of my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she my mother did the very, very best she could. She was a single mother, and she worked.
That is a hard job.
And so she worked 3 jobs to provide for me. So my grandparents naturally stepped in. Yeah. And so summers and spring breaks and all those wonderful vacations and Memorial Days, I was with my grandparents. So my grandmother became.
You had something.
Oh, yeah. I had so much experience living on an 80-acre farm for most of that time.
How many animals?
At the time, we had about 50 million cats and 25 or so chickens and probably
to the next
60
level.
head of cows and horses.
So well outnumbered.
Yeah.
By livestock alone.
Yeah, by livestock alone.
And felines.
But they become your friends.
Yeah.
I mean, and
naturally.
And then other things happen and they become your food. But
it's the cycle of life.
That's where I learned a lot of my love for plants even.
Oh,
so,
heck yes.
Yeah, fourth of an acre of a garden that I got to help plant every single year.
That's not a small project. That's half this greenhouse.
It was.
Oh,
it was big.
It is a lot of weeding.
It was a lot of weeding, but you learn a lot. And
that's awesome.
You learn that work comes before play, and
but then when you get to play hard.
You get to play hard.
You get to play real hard.
So in between hays, my grandfather still produces hay and
of course
grows
he does.
hay.
Of course he does.
He's 95 and still swaths and does all the other things. But you when you play hard.
Yeah, you do.
For a week.
Well,
you go camping and fishing and Yellowstone and jam sessions and learn all sorts of things.
Like on the garbage cans by the tractor.
But no, my grandmother, she was a master food preserver.
Oh.
And she...
Canning Central.
Everything. My grandfather built her a beautiful canning kitchen.
You open the pantry and there's just jars.
There was not a pantry. It was a cellar.
Oh,
he
naturally.
dug her out a cellar with jars. And my grandma was 5 foot nothing. So
it was probably a short cellar. Didn't have to dig as deep as the normal guy.
Yeah, but...
I'm all of 5'2".
Yeah. Master food preserver, master gardener.
Okay.
Beautiful flowers everywhere. Snowball trees. Didn't even know there was a snowball tree, but that's where...
Snowball tree?
Yeah.
What is a snowball tree?
It's big and white. I called it a snowball tree. It could not be a snowball tree. Has these big white balls that grow on.
Well, so we actually are growing some hydrangeas that are called limelights this year, and they look like huge ice cream cones.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to go outside. I actually just nabbed one. It's going in my yard this weekend if I don't kill it between there.
My grandmother, my youngest is actually named after her. So my grandmother passed away, but...
Well,
yes,
I'm glad you could honor her.
I feel yes. So, she is the one that taught me my love for everything.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Since we are in a family business, so my mom, I have watched my mother grow more in the last 15 or 20 years than I think a lot of people get the opportunity to. And by that, I mean, so my parents started to take over in 1996, right? Well, the way that the buy between generation 2 to generation 3 went is grandma and grandpa had to immediately exit in entirety. So my mom had to step into my grandmother's role, and my grandma had some really big shoes to fill. And there for a while, there was just this stigma of like, oh, she'll never be Carolyn Moss. It's like, no, she's going to be Dana Moss, damn it. Move out the way. Mm-hmm. And, sales is kind of a forced thing for her. It doesn't feel natural to her, but she kicks butt at it. And she's learned to really hold her space and get outside of her comfort zone. And I've always looked up to her for that. And it's always helped me kind of be able to say, you know what, I just need to have a little bit of courage. Actually, when we transitioned me into her position 4-ish years ago, something like that. You lose track when you're in a greenhouse because it's same season all the time. And I remember her just being like, well, I got to figure this out, because I asked her to be plant purchaser, and she's like, well, then you're the director of sales and marketing today. I'm like, oh, that's like a year too soon. Okay, guess we're going to figure it out. And, she's always been able to dive in and embrace the challenge and go. And I'd like to think I get that from her. I definitely have a lot of my father in me, but I have a lot of my mom too. And I'm really glad I have her in me. But the cool thing that I get to do with my mom is, Dad's always on some gallivanting adventure, whether it's skiing or fishing or golfing or motorcycle riding or, you name it. That is what Dad lives for. And so my mom and I, she's not going to go do all that stuff with him. She's got her other stuff. So we'll both watch each other and we start to get the itch. We're like, where are we going? Where are we going? And so we plan these trips, and it'll just be a random weekend here and there, like we just need out of town. And I can go anywhere with my mom. She's the one person I can travel. I travel way better with her than I do my husband.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Isn't that funny? You have somebody that's just your person?
My mother is actually, I travel better with my mother.
Than you do your husband?
When I have my children, I want my mom there.
Exactly. Yeah. Because she just knows where to be, when to be, and you're not having to... you don't have 5 children all of a sudden instead of just the 4 that actually belong to you.
Yes, agreed.
Mine is 3 kids, or just 2 and my husband. And sometimes it feels like 3. Other times he's like rock star about it. But my mom is truly that person. So we actually went and did 2 weeks through the Northeast last fall during leaf season.
Oh, wow.
It was so cool. We got to go to Salem, Massachusetts in October, all those witchy, crazy people, and it was so much fun. So what do I give my mom on Mother's Day? I actually gave her a Mother's Day present today.
Oh.
And I went and figured out she's an Aries because her birthday was on Easter this year. And I figured out what her power stone was, and it's the amethyst. And I got her amethyst agate earrings.
Wow, I bet they're beautiful.
And I will tell you, working in a greenhouse. I like cut flowers. Buy me cut flowers. It's okay. And don't buy me roses. I don't like roses. Hint, hint, husband. He knows that. Actually, he never buys me roses. He always buys me lilies. So it works out. But now I think Mother's Day is an important celebration, but it's so funny how it came about. And I feel like I need to create a structure of somebody preventing the sale of flowers now to honor Jarvis, just to make her roll over in her grave a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that.
We should.
We should do a whole staging. Make it a lot of fun. Well, okay. So with that, I just wanted to kind of talk about what Mother's Day was all about, and I'm trying to remember our outro because we are still new at this. So I'm going to ask you to go out and be bold because plain is boring. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.